Hi, this is Mason Dukacek.
Miss Hancock, hello.
And we are here today to bring online some of the conversations we've had offline.
Right.
In the efforts of helping some of the people that we work with and we care about have more fun at their job, do better at it with less hassle and less headache, and hopefully we can share a few ideas that they can put to use right away.
Awesome.
So one of the topics we were talking about, and we've done several different videos with little offshoots of the same theme, but along the theme of companies who are expressing frustration in their ability to get enough quality applicants in the door.
Right.
To the point that some people are lowering their standards and not being selective, which I think is a disaster. It's the beginning, and time will prove that. But I believe, we really talked about the concept of, in the theme of folks involved in HR and recruiting really viewing themselves as the second sales force for a company, and their job, or part of their job, being to compete, utilizing actual sales and marketing strategies and tactics to compete for talent the way sales and marketing folks compete for revenue and ideal customers.
Exactly.
And if all the other companies are using traditional methods and it's getting harder to draw in a higher quantity of quality applicants, doing more of stuff that isn't working real well, I don't know if that's the ideal strategy. So
no.
Mish and I were talking a little bit about, because she happens to have a ton of expertise in the area of digital marketing and whatnot. And let's talk a little bit about some of the specific targeting that you can do and why you might want to do that.
Sure.
So if you don't mind, share some of your thoughts that we were talking about earlier.
Well, so one of the things we were talking about was a solar company that I know. And the solar company, they understand that most of the employees they have working for them are very health conscious, a lot of vegans and vegetarians, very earth conscious, so they donate their time and money to various charities that are all about helping the earth, and they're really into recycling, and so this is painting
probably
a picture.
Priuses or Teslas.
Teslas, Priuses, exactly. The parking lot's full of them.
Volts,
right?
whatever.
Right? Yeah. And so they know their audience, if you will. They know the people that are most attracted to work for them and that work well with them. That
Their
fit
culture.
in with
Their culture has
culture.
Defined.
Exactly.
It's defined itself. It sounds like.
That's that group. Right?
Okay.
And so all of that can be targeted via social media channels, via Facebook, LinkedIn, which are the top two that I would say for this.
For recruiting purposes.
For recruiting purposes, okay. You can find those people on both of those platforms and within the advertising that LinkedIn and Facebook, the platforms that they have for the advertising. But there's two sides of this that we need to talk about.
So I was going to ask how, and I know that could be a very long answer. Right?
It could be, but here we'll just kind of.
She has a gift of being able to.
The big view is when I think of marketing via any social media, you've got two sides. You've got an organic side, and then you have the advertising side. So the organic side is you're showing up. All right. You're doing homework for the person that's going to come check you out. So if I am actively looking for where do I want to work right now, and I start looking at some various companies, and I look at their Facebook page as an example, I want to get an understanding by scrolling down that page, who works for you? What do these people do? What are their values, right? So if I see pictures of this person that just ran a marathon for some sort of a charity that would be along the same lines of a charity that I would be interested in, or that they just got a new juicer at the office, and this has become a big thing, we're all juicing, or we're all, you know what I mean?
Donating their time to build mountain bike trails or something in the woods on Saturday.
Exactly. Or that's part of the company activities, like we all got together on Saturday and went mountain biking, you are doing the homework for me. I am now just looking through your Facebook page and knowing this is the kind of place I'd like to work for. I'm interested. Look at this. I would love to work with a company like this, right? Now, it's organic, and it can be frustrating for people because it's not like this person came and looked at your page. Right? And so there's not really metrics to measure so much. But now let's go to the advertising side.
Okay, so the organic stuff needs to be there.
For the voyeurs, for the I'm checking you out, I want to get to know who you are before I pick up a phone. You know,
Or for people who may have applied, who actually may have been looking at you through traditional methods, but before they're gonna do the extra work of filling out an entire application,
Right.
say, I just wanna get a vibe for this company
let me
first.
make sure that they are what they're the kind of place that would make sense for me to put an application into, right?
And, and I don't wanna
Go.
mess with your mojo, but, I know that there's a lot of folks that not enough folks out there, I'll mention it, that might be sitting there saying, well, I don't do that, or I don't do that. I wouldn't really go look at someone's Facebook page. Guess what? There are millions of other people who do.
Yeah, and why wouldn't you? Because it's all part of getting to know a company. People are gonna look digital before they pick up a phone and engage with a company. That's just how it goes. So you have to show up and you have to provide information via your social channels, right?
Yep.
So that's just like good practice. Then the other side of it, the advertising side, is where you're gonna get very targeted, you're gonna get analytics, you're going to be able to measure what you're doing. Okay, so the advertising side of it then is, in Facebook, you're using Facebook Business Manager, LinkedIn has its own advertising platform, and that is where it gets creative plus scientific. So you have the creative side, which is your content. Are you putting out good content that rises above the noise, that people will want to pay attention to? Enough information is going to make me click on that video or see what you're all about, right? And then the scientific side of it is the testing. So you've heard of split testing. So does this message resonate more than this message? Does this picture resonate more than this picture? Are people clicking on the video? Do I need to provide, like on Facebook, you can do a carousel ad where you have different pictures that they can look at. You're testing and testing. There's never a time you're not testing. When you as a company are putting advertising out, I would like to know you have 2 of almost the same advertising going out at any given time, so that you're constantly testing and refining what's happening, because that's going to bring down the cost per click. It's going to make your marketing and advertising dollars work a lot harder for you, and you're gonna constantly get in front of the right people and build up that audience, right? And get the applications from the people that you really want to hear from.
I think one of the interesting byproducts of this is that if I'm an employer and I have the analytics and I've done multiple types of variations of ads that maybe promote different positive aspects of a career with company ABC.
Right.
That company ABC may have ideas like, oh, I think people love to come to work for us because of this. The reality is, who cares what you think? The data will tell you the truth.
Yes.
And what company ABC thinks is the main reason that companies want to come work for us is this. So we need to spend all our money promoting this aspect of our company because that's why people love us. It may be completely wrong.
It is
And they
amazing
can
what
find out
marketing
for
can
sure.
teach you, right? Marketing is an amazing teacher, because marketing shows you what everybody out there really wants, really hears, really is interested in, and marketing can also uncover some issues within your company that may need to be addressed. So if you're working with a good marketer is going to help you understand a lot more about your company than you may want to
There's
know,
an idea.
honestly.
There's an idea. HR working with a marketer. I mean, how often do you hear that? I don't.
And boy, and that's a
But I
match
think it's a
made
good
in
idea.
heaven if you want to find the right the right applicants for your job
See,
and
that-
not waste everybody's time.
And see, that's why I invited her on today, because my specialty is helping companies get, the right people and being very, very selective.
Right.
But if they're coming to me and say, oh, I don't have enough applicants,
No
I
one
can't afford
showed
to be
up,
selective,
yeah.
then that just means we need to get more creative. That means we need to get better at what we do. We need to explore new ideas, new concepts, new strategies, and
There's a
Here
way
she
to do it.
here she
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and thank you. But I also hope, like you said, this is good information for people to use. And if you're an HR person and you're hitting, you're getting a lot of objections. You know what I mean? Like no.
Well, I mean, one of the challenges I think a lot of HR departments and HR leaders have is that a VP of sales can go to a company, and I've mentioned this in other videos, and we've talked about this before, but a VP of sales can walk in and say, hey, I need this budget to get these sales numbers.
Right.
And everyone's like, well, okay, we get that.
Right.
And because the rest of the business understands that sales isn't everything, but it ranks up there with oxygen.
Exactly.
Super important. They have to have it. So they're willing it's not hard to make a case that, we invest $1 and we get 3 back. How many dollars do we want to invest?
Right.
HR and recruiting functions, the people matter most. That was the title of my book, People Matter Most. They matter most.
Yeah.
And without them, you don't have a business. So
exactly.
What can you do to continually upgrade your talent and retain the best people and reach out and get more people like the ones you have as you grow?
Well, right, you're building a system, just like when you're marketing your products and services for sales, right? The whole idea is, how do I get to where I have a lead source that I can count on, that I know that that this marketing and advertising dollars are going to get the leads and conversions that make sense for me. Like that's you're building that. Well, same with HR. They can build a system that they can count on that's bringing the right applicants to the door, and then assuring that those people are the best fit through the system that you've developed. So I mean, it all can work together quite beautifully.
So I just think it's cool that HR folks are starting to think. It's so cliche to say outside the box, but literally starting to think like sales and marketing folks.
Oh yeah.
And starting to explore different ways to utilize tools that have been used effectively in other capacities.
Right.
I mean, the specificity that you can get with your marketing to literally, I want to put this specific ad to attract this specific type of person in this specific area with these specific skills and nothing else. I mean,
it's completely,
you can be so
powerful.
precise in your marketing.
It's really powerful.
And whether someone's paying per click, you can say like, what's it worth? How many of those?
Right.
I mean, is it worth a couple bucks to get someone to click on that? Yes.
Yes, for the right people, yes.
And
it's hard to find the right people.
And when you can use videos and things like that to actually make the pitch for your company to these people directly, I mean, you can put your best. I mean, video makes it so easy. It's not like the old days where someone in HR gets a jillion phone calls and they're spending their whole day talking. Like, no.
Right.
I mean, literally, if I'm an HR director or a recruiting manager or whatever, I can literally pitch my company in the best light perfectly every single time on video, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, worldwide to an unlimited amount of people.
Exactly.
So, when you have technology like the ability to deliver a perfect message to a very specific audience, then it shouldn't be that hard to get more of your ideal prospect, especially when other folks are still thinking old school ways that aren't working. I just think it's a huge advantage for people.
Huge advantage, huge new way to look at things too. I mean, that could really work well for your company. I mean, that would really set you apart from all the other companies looking out there.
And then at that point, if you've spent that much money and taken that much effort to get a high quantity of high quality applicants, then my encouragement is to do everything within your power to screen for the best. I mean, I'm a fan of drug testing, I'm a fan of background checks, I'm a fan of pre-employment testing. If you are not doing everything in your power as an employer, especially after doing all that work to get a high quantity of high quality applicants in there, and you're not doing everything in your power to gather as much job-related information as you can about an applicant before you make a hiring decision, it's like playing Russian roulette without checking all the chambers of the weapon first, and it's just not a great idea. But
it's a powerful system. You've got both of these things working for you. It's
anyway, hope you guys. Thanks for sitting in our conversation.
Yeah.
Hopefully you got a couple ideas and strategies and perspectives that can make you better at what you do and have a little more fun. And thanks.
Thank you.